Welcome to HBCU Her Voice, a place where we celebrate the powerful voices and stories of remarkable women from historically Black colleges and universities. I'm your host, Shanasia Washington, a proud HBCU graduate myself. I'm thrilled to bring you this platform dedicated to amplifying the voice of our community. We dive into inspiring stories of resilience, success, and the incredible impact these women are making in the world. From trailblazing entrepreneurs to innovative leaders, we bring you the stories that matter, showcasing how HBCU experiences shape paths and fuel passions. We'll explore challenges, victories, and wisdom. Whether you're an HBCU alum, a student, faculty member, supporter, or simply someone who believes in the power of diverse voices, we are so glad to have you. So listen up as we share insights, celebrate achievements, and uplift our community. Together, we can inspire the next generation of leaders and ensure our voices are heard loud and clear. A grand welcome to HBCU Her Voice. A grand welcome to HBCU Her Voice. As your fabulous host, Shanasia Washington, streaming from none other than H-Town, Houston, Texas, baby, where it goes down. Let me tell you, baby, we already hit 95 today. I'm getting seasoned, so I'll be out there with my fan. Y'all can't go nowhere without a fan. I say, where did this come from? I'm telling you, I get out there, I start sweating immediately. I'm pretty sure by the time you see this, it'll probably be even hotter. But let me tell you something, y'all always know I bring the noise and the heat when I come to this podcast. I handle it with so much pride. Today is no different. I have a fabulous lady. We already been chopping up before we hit record. I know it's going to be a special one. She's going to come to the stage and do our normal drill. Tell us her name, where she's streaming from, which HBCU she's repping, and guess what? We get that HBCU story. Without any further waiting time, here's this fabulous guest for today.
Hello. Thank you for having me. I am Kristen Proctor, founder of Edge and Ethos Designs. We are an Atlanta-based interior architecture and design firm specializing in hospitality, multifamily, senior living, and residential design. Right now, though, I am streaming to you from Ohio, where I'm from. I like to move. I like to travel, which is why I went down to the Florida Agricultural and Mechanical University back in 2002. We're a bit seasoned here. But I went down to Florida A&M because I knew I wanted to get out of Ohio. I knew I wanted to be at an HBCU that just was vibrant and lively. And to be honest, FAMU was the only HBCU, actually the only school I applied to. I did that so that my mother wouldn't be able to say no, because college was the only option for me. And so if I went down to FAMU and if I only applied there, she would have to tell me yes. So that's how we got there. And it was the best decision I could have ever made. I'm so grateful to God that he opened up that door. And as soon as I got there, my birthday is October 4th. FAMU was founded on October 3rd. And I was like, okay, this is meant to be, we're here. But FAMU was the best time of my life. And if you know anything about Rattlers, you know that we can be a bit extra, as everyone likes to say. But we have a good time. Our motto is excellence with caring. They demand absolute excellence, but they don't leave you alone out there to do it by yourself. They guide you, they hold your hand, they're going to challenge you for sure, but it is absolutely excellence with caring. I love FAMU. It is still a part of my very being today. All of my friends are still from FAMU. All of my friends that I talk to on a very regular basis are FAMU alumni. Our network is so strong and powerful. We really are there to uplift, help, and support each other. There isn't anything that I do that I know I won't have the support of the Rattlers, because they will be there. We like to call ourselves family, and that is what we are. We are a family of FAMU Rattlers. We are proud of where we come from. We are proud of who we are. We're proud of what we're doing in this country and globally. There's a lot of movers and shakers in the FAMU network. I love everything about FAMU. I love everything about my experience. One other thing that got me down to FAMU, but don't tell my mother about this also. I saw the Kappa chapter there when I was in high school, and I was like, oh, yeah, I'm going to go there. And it was just, a little added spice to why I was going. But no, it was just an amazing experience, amazing time for me. And I'm so proud to be a Rattler.
Look at her talking about, don't tell my mama, but I see them Kappas. Mhm. So I had to go on and get on down there.
You did. I'm sorry. I had to.
I knew something. I knew something as to why she wanted to get down there way to Florida. But let me tell you something about those families. Baby, they do bring the noise. We've had several of you rattlers on this podcast, and baby, it's nothing like nothing like that FAMU noise. And you know, we talked to all of them, Howard and all of them. They do have a special ring to them. The FAMU sisters that come to here. So, lots to all the FAMU family that's watching on today. We love y'all all the same, but y'all a little extra. She said it. I didn't say it. She said it.
We are. I can't deny it. We are.
It's extra for no reason, but I am so happy that you're here and everything that you stand for. She does some amazing and beautiful work, guys. She really does. And you can see here on the screen that she is the CEO of Edge and Ethos Designs, which is so beautiful. One of the things that we talked about even before we hit record is this journey of building and being visible. And we talked about it, and I say, now look, you know, we got to ask about the things that intertwine the journey. We love all the things, the titles and all the things, but what's important here is that we show on the forefront some of these things that go on the background that are gray, that are heavy, that bring tears and all the things here so that we can talk about them as a community. Because she told me, she said there were seasons where she had to step away from the public eye while simultaneously growing a business. That's what she did. So I asked her, I said, how did that shape your idea of resilience? And what did that have you understand about you while you were building it and then really just couldn't be out there in the forefront?
So, you know, life does happen and life happens when you don't expect it. It happens in ways that you don't expect. I went through some pretty major life transitions personally over these past couple of years. I went through a divorce. And, you know, as an entrepreneur, when you have to be at the forefront of your business, you have to be building, you have to be doing all these things. But honestly, as a woman, I'm going through a divorce. I want to retreat. Like, I need to heal. I need to get myself together, get Kristen together. And my business still needed me to show up. I couldn't pause my business. I couldn't just let it go, because in entrepreneurship, if you don't grind, if you don't build, if you don't hunt, you don't eat. And honestly, for a while, I did have to seriously sit back and not work. And my business was impacted and affected by that. But honestly, my soul, my being, me, I grew from that. I developed a lot from falling back, from that resilience, from taking a step back and saying, you know what, Kristen, you have to do what you have to do to get you together. Because if I'm not together, then my business won't be together. It doesn't matter if I'm showing up or not. Like, I will have to, my business can't succeed and thrive if I'm not thriving. And I wasn't, you know, divorce is hard. I don't know if, you know, how many of your viewers have gone through a divorce, but divorce is absolutely difficult. No matter if, you know, you wanted it or your spouse wanted it, it's hard. But what that showed me by showing up still, knowing that I had to take a pause to heal myself and to build me back up, that showed me I was much stronger than I knew I was. You know, a lot of what I had been doing in the past was retreating and withdrawing and minimizing myself, like really shrinking down. And going through this transition while being an entrepreneur showed me that, girlfriend, you don't need to shrink anymore. That's not who God made you to be. That's not how he called you to be. So we're going to be what God called you to be. We're going to build ourselves back up with the help of God, of course. We're going to do what we need to do and press forward, one foot in front of the other. It's hard, but this character development that came through this transition, my God, I'm a much better person today.
Come on, character development, because I think about this all the time. And I tell people what you see now, I mean, 2024, I'm saying late 2023 to up until the last couple of months have been some of the most hard, difficult times I've had to navigate as an adult. I thought the little kitty stuff I was going through before, I thought I was it's so kitty, and it's so kitty to what's happening now. But I tell people this product that you see is a direct result of me developing in those seasons.
Yes.
And I mean that. And I say this so purely because people, look at me and say, oh, you get up here and talk about all these people and I say, but I was like straight mute for about a good 2-3 years because I was out this whole thing here and how I wanted to show up and how I wanted to impact. And I said, well, Shanadra, if you're gonna have to say anything with her voice that's what's in your head, baby, you better make sure this thing comes out clear. It comes out sound, and you come out being a representation of what you're putting into the earth. That's why it actually came about. Yeah. And if I had started this anytime prior to that character development stage, it would not be standing today. And I mean that.
That's it right there. That's it right there. Edge and Ethos, I established it in 2021. So I got divorced in 2024. So we were here, we were doing things. But baby, what it is today is only a result of what I went through in that resiliency and that development. It's only a result of that.
It is. And in those seasons, I'm so happy for you that became an idea that, okay, look, I know it's slower, but I'm going to use this time to build internally. I always say from the inside out, because so many women, Kristen, they don't even get that period. They still just go in the mess and go in this. And at some point, they hit a wall. Yeah. Because they realize that they haven't sat down and worked through all of that stuff that is separate from the business, separate from the career, and separate from all the stuff. You haven't sat down and done that real work that's actually going to sustain you. Yeah. So I have stopped taking it so personal. It was one point, Chris, I was taking it personal. I was like, oh, Lord, what's that? He said, no. You're going to move from this and get away from taking this so personal. He said, I got you. I'm creating your story.
Yes.
Oh, he got, look, girl, he got that thing with me. I said, okay, Father. you ain't have to just whip me like that. Because I had gotten in this little period where I was like, He said, how long you want to do that? Your story is not going to change. This is what you going to do.
Listen.
And you know what I mean, don't you? You know exactly what I mean, because you'll get there and you're looking out and you're looking out at other people doing this and this stuff worked for them and this stuff and I'm here. You say, now wait a minute.
You start to do that comparison.
Yeah.
And we shouldn't do that. I mean, it's human nature too, but like God gave us our purpose, our vision, what we're supposed to do. He gave them their vision, their purpose, and what they're supposed to do. Right. We just got to focus on us.
That's it. And I say, if you for real focused on you, you wouldn't even have the time, the energy, or the space to worry about what them folk got going on. Yeah. I really know what I'm doing minute to minute. I say, oh my goodness, what happened? I'm looking up. It's already, we recording midday. I looked up, I said, oh my God, let me have that girl send a message to Kristen to make sure we still home because
And I was in there curling my hair and everything. I was ready.
Real life. I'm telling you, like, for me to hear you say that you took that time, and y'all know I love character development. She said a term that I like, and she said that thing. I be telling y'all, that's nothing small. That's why I want people to come to the forefront and talk about that so that we as a community can go and move forward and stronger together. Because they always want to say about building this. And what about building this?
Yeah.
And building that internal core. Okay. Because you can withstand when turbulence comes because you've been so rooted.
You know what your foundation is.
That's what I said. That's what I'm on, because when you go, because it's always going to be, they say, new levels, new problems. It's always going to be that. We know that. But if you haven't done the real work, each and every time you're going to think you're supposed to get in the ball, cry, do all the things, which have the emotion. Please do that. You are human. But at the end of the day, what are you going to do? What you going to do for the next steps? So I say, okay, I'm liking this little sit to the side, get this thing going on, because Edge and Ethos is really out here moving and shaking. Now, before Edge and Ethos,
Uh-huh.
Kristen Proctor, she actually worked in policy.
Mm-hmm.
I told you I wouldn't look through all this stuff. I don't have y'all do it for nothing. It was policy and politics is
Yeah.
what I have noted here. Tell me about that background and how that even now influences how you design people and communities today.
Mm.
Believe it or not, like I was in financial services and didn't even know nothing about no podcast, no business, no nothing. And now when I come here, they're like, I think about my journey holistically, and some of the parts I picked out from there, it still applies to today, not directly, but just operationally, right? Because when people get it, it's like everything is so organized. This, this. I'm like, I was operation manager for years.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna run amok now, but those things still influence how I work and put things into the earth. So, do you find any comparisons with what you used to do showing up with how you actually run Edge and Ethos?
Oh, absolutely. So I went down to FAMU and majored in political science. During that time, I was a White House intern, and that was the fall of 2005. I was the only Black female intern during that administration. And my FAMU professor pushed me to do that. The dean of my department pushed me to do that. And so I did. And, then I came out and graduated and then worked for U.S. Senator Sherrod Brown. And then I was on the 2008 President Obama campaign. But that is all about relationships. That's all about people. You have to talk to people to tell them about your candidate, your campaign, and you have to foster some kind of connection with them. After the political scene, I then went into policy and lobbying. And that is 10,000% about relationships. I can't get you to see my interest unless I understand your interest. And so there's some give and take there, and there's some understanding people, understanding what makes them tick, understanding what makes them, go with ease and that kind of thing. And in design, that's absolutely what it's about. Whether I'm designing a hotel or designing a residence, I have to know how this user is going to use this space. You as a homeowner, I have to know everything about your day-to-day. I have to build trust with you. I have to build a relationship and build a connection with you for you to even let me into your home. And then disclose all of those personal things so I can really design for you. I don't do cookie cutter designs. So I develop a concept that is tailored to you and who you are so that you can live and go about your home and go through your home and about your day with ease. So that background of mine, having the policy, understanding how people move and how people think and the psychology around all of that, it has really helped me kind of flourish in my business and flourish in interior design, because design is not just making things pretty. Especially my degree is in interior architecture and design. So it's really about how people move and flow and function in a space.
Mm-hmm. That is absolutely beautiful. And I always ask that because I think sometimes we step away from something and go to something else. We're just so enthusiastic to do that new thing.
Yeah.
But really, the building blocks for this was really already happening years ago, and I had no idea. So when I kind of go back and pinpoint those things, I was like, okay, you had to go that way for this to happen. You had to understand this because this was happening.
Oh, yeah.
And again, goes back to that whole personal thing and stop making it so, oh, why me and this and that. Go back and look at your journey, understand why some things just had to happen the way they had to in his design. So I love that. But I think it's an excellent segue because when you talk about designing these spaces, really with that intention, one of the things about even where I'm sitting at today, when I got some slide doors here and another here, when these doors go close and never go close, baby, I'm up in my oasis, okay? Feeling like feeling like how it's supposed to feel and giving the energy it's supposed to give. So being aesthetically appeasing and clean and stuff, it means a lot to me.
Yeah.
Not just because it looks good, but it helps with the energy I even bring through the screen to my guests. It's a studio. We doing our job over here. We get stories out. That's what's at the forefront of my mind when I step in here to work. So when I think about it from what you do, because a lot of people think, oh, it's just superficial. I want you to tell me what most people need to understand more about the kind of emotional and really the kind of psychology impact
Yeah.
having a space that they occupy being what they want it to be. Because I'm telling you, as a person that creates in this space,
Mm-hmm.
not nothing fancy, not written nowhere, right up in here, it's created the most beautiful thing. And
Mm-hmm.
just from what you do, anything that you can shed as to why that space can even have some psychological impact on how we move and operate and where we are.
Yeah. So design impacts and influences your well-being. It influences and impacts your day-to-day from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to sleep. The space you're in, you're living in it, you're working in it, you're playing in it, all of those things. It's not just, you aren't outside and you aren't getting the energy from the sun and all of those things. You aren't grounding yourself. So when you're inside, you have to be intentional about what kind of energy, what kind of feel you want in the space. We've developed this design methodology called residential design, and it's where we blend the warmth of residential spaces and the elevation and sophistication and experience driven things of hospitality, so hotels and stuff. So it's like you're bringing the hotel home, or you're bringing the hotel into the senior living space, and you're bringing kind of that residential element into those spaces as well, because life doesn't turn off when you go into a hotel. Life doesn't turn off when you go into your home. Life doesn't turn off if you go into your apartment or you go to visit your grandmother in the senior living community. Life still is going and it's still happening. So how do I want to feel in my home? That's what residential is about. It's about creating something that you feel inside of your home, because how you respond to people, your design is impacted by that. So if I don't feel at peace in my home, I'm going to spew that out to other people. So when we design based on how you want to feel in this space, regardless of what kind of space it is. It's all about that intention setting. And we ask, like you ask all these questions, we ask a ton of questions to understand what it is that you are going to be doing in the space, how you intend to feel in the space, how you want others to feel in the space, because it's not just you there. So yeah, we're all very intentional. Like I said, we don't do cookie cutter designs. We are tailor it to you.
I love that. And y'all see, she said she have to ask questions, okay, to get people. I said, I don't do cookie cutter interviews. I said, we all vary. I don't care if we come from the same place, look the same, went to the same schools, and we are all different, and we have diversity even within us that has to be talked about and expounded on a way that is very intentional. Because one of the things is you will put everyone's experience because of proximity in a box and not realize that in that same reach and cone of reach of proximity, there's so many different things that are happening. So that's why we have to do it. We have to do it that way. But I am so happy to hear you say that. And I think you are my first design person on the podcast. I haven't spoken to anyone in the design space. That's why I was so happy to have you. Beautiful thing that you're doing, but I know that you still remain underrepresented as a Black woman in this industry. Of course, I kind of look around. I was like, you don't hear that at this level often. The way in which you design. Tell me about some of those barriers and still being underrepresented and some of those things that you're working through, because I meet creators all the time, and especially Black creators, Black women creators all around the city, really and beyond. And many of them really don't see their creativity as being a pathway to true income. And it really breaks my heart. Now, I have to have the conversation specifically with creators, really with everyone, but creators specifically, because I meet so many out here in the streets, young and old, that really have never tapped into letting that creative side build the income. So can you talk from their perspective, and also just from the kind of side of being still very underrepresented in this space?
Yeah. So when I took that pivot from policy and lobbying to design, I knew I wanted to do it the right way. Number one, I wanted to go to design school for grad school. So I had my master's in interior architecture and design. because I knew that as a creative, this is my passion, but I needed to catapult me and position me well. And the only way at that time that I thought, and I still stand by that, was to get the education, have the professional and technical training of it so that you can really speak to it and go beyond just decorating homes. So in interior architecture, 0.4% of interior architects are Black. 2% of architects are Black, and only 2% of interior designers are Black. And on the woman side, it's even less than that. So we are extremely underrepresented in the architecture and design space. But I'm going to tell you this, and I'm probably biased, but we create some phenomenal work, phenomenal work. And it's one of the passions that I have with Edge and Ethos Designs is being a place for the underrepresented. The architects I work with are Black. The designers I work with are Black. The structural engineers I work with are Black. I am very intentional about hiring those who are underrepresented. When I was in grad school as the only Black woman in my program for 3.5 years, it was the longest grad program ever, but I was the only Black woman and no one could really resonate with me. And so I'm intentional about hiring young Black women designers while they're still in school. They intern for me and then they end up working for me, or I help them get into a path. If they want to do like healthcare design, I help them get to where they want to go. But that's important for me. I love design. I love where we have come. We've come so far. There was a day where there was a lot of Black architects and a lot of Black interior designers, but somehow, some way, we got into going away from passion. So I was determined to get back to my passion and not just being lobbying and not just, live a life that I didn't feel passionate about. And so I recently graduated from the Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Businesses program, and a lot of creative agencies don't join this cohort. But I'm going to tell you, it's how you position yourself to make money. You have to get known. You have to be seen. You have to get into these spaces that will help you grow and elevate your business, because you can still create and be passionate about what you do and make money. We just have to tap into the right resources. And for me, that was one of them. But also having agency and community with other designers, like, other Black design associations. We want to help each other. And I'm very passionate about helping other Black creatives make moves and make money and grow their business, because we deserve to have our own businesses. We deserve to be making money in those businesses too.
Absolutely. And of course, congratulations on finishing the Goldman Sachs program. Kudos to you for that. And I love that your business was in the runnings and in the room, because you see that. I've been through, cohorts myself, and like I just told you, I typically don't see design agencies in the space. So she's saying something that is very true. So when I was like, man, I got a design on my thing, fam, you like, don't tell me nothing. Really, y'all can't tell me nothing about this series when these start airing. Let's just back it up a little bit, because y'all really cannot tell me nothing. Y'all know I would tell y'all the same way if I seen y'all on the street. Like, you can't tell me too much about my community, because they come here, and not only just because they come here, I am meeting them in the streets. And they are showing up and doing the things. So you have to come at me like a different way when you try to put your mouth on my community, because I'm a snapback. Yeah. I'm kind of a snapback kind of girl, specifically as it relates to this, because when I see a youth come here and show what you've been doing, girl, still showing up in these rooms when you're such just a small, ain't even a percent.
Right. Not even a percent.
Not even a percent, but showing up and just doing it with such great pride and excellence. It's truly my honor to highlight that and bring that forth, because it's rare, and not because we said it. We just said the numbers. It's so small. And you still out here doing it with such grace. So I just want you to know how incredibly proud I am of you. And I want to go to this one. And this is a big one. I'm gonna let you have it though. I want you to tell me what role does faith play in your. I know. What role does faith play for you as a business owner, and just really as a personal? It's really as a lady, just your personal stance on faith, and really what that does for you as you navigate the space.
Faith is extremely important to me. I would not be here. I would not be what I am if it was not for God. Back in 2020, I contracted COVID and had it really, really bad to the point where I departed and came back. And in that transition, I heard the Lord say, no, it's not time. But from that, I want to say that very same day or the next day, he gave me the vision for Edge and Ethos Designs. So I'm here because of God. Edge and Ethos Designs was birthed because of God. And it stands today because of God. Every open door, every opportunity is because the favor of the Lord is upon me. It is on my life. It's what I look to. You know, I speak a word over my business every week, particularly John 15:16. It's about the fruit that God has placed in me. It's about the fruit that he is developing and that he is birthing, that he is growing. I mean, God is everything to me. When we were in New York last week with our Goldman Sachs graduation, I went into praise and worship quite a few times because I'm in a posture of gratitude right now because I know that it was nothing but God. Every client I get is God. And that's kind of also why you see ethos in my company name, Edge and Ethos, because I'm guided by the Holy Spirit. Every project I do, I pray over, I submit it to God, I surrender it to God, and it shows up in how it develops and how it comes to life. I'm rooted in my faith, and I can't do anything. I don't take any credit for it. I thank God for the ability. I thank God for the creativity, and I thank God for giving me the vision for Edge and Ethos Designs.
Girl, you know I'm loving it, and I'm in this posture of gratitude too. Sometimes I do quote one day, I just start crying, and my son he say, "Oh, what now? God is good." I say, "He is."
Yes.
You're not gonna.
Yes.
I say, "You."
There's no other way to say it.
I'm not ashamed of that. You know, he knows that I'm going to give gratitude as I feel it come. You know, and just really being here and seeing how miraculous he is, and I think. Younger, you know, to take all these major shifts, but it just be these tiny little subtle breaths from him, tiny little subtle touches from him, tiny little subtle exchanges. I know that it's him. You hear me? Nobody can tell. Nobody can tell the difference. I said, and I am just in a place now where, like, I thought at this stage and age, you know, all this stuff wouldn't matter. I was like, maybe 10 more years from now, if I'm blessed, I ain't gonna really care about.
Listen.
Listen. It's a very thin thing, and it's so much stuff that's happening in this world. But just to get up and just be able to come back into his presence, for me, that's enough to almost lay me out. You got people that can't even come into his presence, and you know, and be okay, and that be enough. And to me, some days, girl, that is not some days more. That is more than enough. Now you did say that you had a period where you look. I came back. I went out. I came back in, and you say you heard his voice clearly. So on them days when you low, Kristen Proctor, you better remember that. He said not yet. He said more life. That's what he said.
That's what he said.
I ain't gonna do too much now because we've been past the offering bucket around. I'm about to say
that's what he said.
I'm about to stay on top, but he said that. So sometimes in those moments, and when you said it, it gave me chills. I say, not yet. I said, not yet, Kristen.
Yeah.
What? Woo! Not yet. Let me move on before we've been in shifting this whole thing. I got my little gold bucket I used to have for offering, but I don't know where it's at. Maybe he said, Joe, stay on track and do this today and get your interview done and go.
Oh gosh. That's what he does though. When he shows up, you gotta
You gotta answer the call of that, because you never know who is touched by that. You never know who that ripples and goes. And when I come here, I'm like, oh my gosh, there are things that even I'm battling. I try to suppress, even in some of these interviews. Some of these things have gone and they've been, spiritual movers for people.
Mm-hmm.
And that was really never the intention. Of course, it's intention to have the podcast and do it. And he keep telling me, look, girl, how many times I got to tell you? The branding is on the screen. There's a ticker scrolling. There's an emblem on the top. There's a person saying, how many times I tell you this is your ministry? So until you stand up and stop fighting me, he said, yeah, you can do it however you want to do. I'm gracious and I'll ask the questions. Keep telling me. You better do it the way I tell you to do it every time. And every time you try to silence it and suppress it, you're the one that's going to have to fight and sit with that. So when I come here, I tell people, after them doors close, we in here.
Yeah.
That's it. And whatever's supposed to happen, will happen.
Yeah.
I don't scratch my head about the guests anymore. I used to say, who's going to come? Oh, God, who's going to do the form? He said, whoever's supposed to sit in that seat, going to sit in the seat. And until you stop playing with me, you're the one going to be up at night. So whoever he says to come there, I'm okay with it. And I'll do my job, Kristen. I'll do my job when I go home. I'm already home. I go to the other side of home. That's how I'm saying. Let me ask you this quickly, because I want to make sure that you have the opportunity to answer. So I think it's good about the legacy, really, of Edge and Ethos. People are talking about the legacy of it. What impact do you think that people should still be talking about, even 10 years from now? Even if Edge and Ethos is not here anymore, you've evolved to something else, whatever it is. Like, what do you hope people to say about the experience and legacy of this very prestigious firm? I think it is.
Oh, well, thank you for saying that, number one. What I want people to know about me and Edge and Ethos is that she was obedient. Edge and Ethos is a result of obedience, in that we showed up, we were diligent, we provided, listened, fostered, we were community and people centered. It's how I've always been in life. I, have always considered others as well as considering myself, of course, but having community and being community minded is what Edge and Ethos is about. Yes, interior design is a luxury. I get it, but I'm all about building my community. I'm all about uplifting and empowering African Americans here in this country, and then showing them what's possible, what is still there. Life isn't over yet. Even at 42, for me, life isn't over. Someone who's 52, life isn't over. There's still so much more. There's still so much more life and more breath and more fruit that will come. And what we try to do is just show people the possibilities of that. Show people that, things are still, God is still in the blessing business, because Edge and Ethos Designs is blessed. Kristen is blessed. And our community is blessed as a result of that. So, I love for people to know that Edge and Ethos is about our people, our community, and showing younger people what's possible. Architecture and design is a part of STEM. We have taken not a linear approach to design. So showing people, hey, you can go this route and then go over here and still end up blessed and still end up where God really has you to be.
You better do it, Kristen Proctor. You better do it. I absolutely love it. And I am, of course, like I say, proud of you for being in the space and doing it. I've said it several times throughout the podcast. But when I look at people, and I've gotten to say it a few times often, when we think about our legacy, it's just that accountability of putting what we want that legacy to be in practice every single day. And I think you're going to stay with it. So you remind yourself every day when you get up, everything that you do and how you move through this thing is intentional to get to that overall legacy and feel. And I have to, I preach it to like myself too, as I say that, and really making sure that, I operate and understand integrity and all the things that I would hope that people say about Shanadra and whatever it is she builds while in space. And just so y'all know, us millennials, baby, we kind of baby, we out here doing it. So life is not over for us. I feel like we are kind of the last of kind of that old rooted breed. My grandparents were born in the 40s. They raised me. And kind of got a little dicey in the 90s. In the 2000s or 2010, baby, we not. I got a 2017 born in there, so we're not knocking them. I see how he operates his world, and I know how my world was at his age. But we are a special breed. I think we still kind of have that old kind of rooted sense in us. That I'm not saying that's in us and goes forth. So I told my friends and peers, take that position. Stand up. Don't be trying to shout back and do all the things and say your age, be proud of it, and really stand to try and help the people that's coming behind you move forward with some better knowledge. Or even if it's not better, just some knowledge from you that they can choose to either, take in or discard. Stand up, get a position, do that thing. So I'm happy now to be like OG. My 40th is in 20 days now. And I'm
birthday.
Very happy to be stepping into my new decade. I'm very proud to be here. I tell my peers all the time, there's nothing wrong with doing all the things to look young and feel young. I'm not saying any of that. But the fact that he said, well, baby, I could potentially grace you into your fourth decade, that ain't nothing small. After all the stuff that had tried to knock me down and take me out, all the things, for me to shy away and I'm 25 now, I'm 39 and 360 something days. I earned that. He graced me with that. So I'm incredibly proud. So to everybody out there that's feeling the pull and tug of age, I'm this and that, hey, you better look backwards and see a lot of people that didn't get to say your age. A lot of people did not make it. He has still graced you every day to get up until this point. So you don't have nothing to be ashamed of. Man, he's still working on me. He ain't done yet. That's how this thing should go. Now I want to make sure, Kristen, that you have a clean segment you got to promote Edge and Ethos. I know we talked about throughout the life of this interview, but you have to give us 2-3 overarching kind of sentences about what your firm does, and then give us a great connection point so that people know how to reach you post this interview.
Oh, wonderful. So Edge and Ethos Designs is a interior architecture and design firm. Like I said before, we design hotels, we design multifamily, so that's apartments and condos. We design senior living spaces, and we design residential homes as well. And we have created a design methodology called residential design, where we again bring the residential warmth with the sophistication of hotels, and we just create a wonderful experience for you where you can always feel like you are in an oasis where you can escape, whether it's in your home or in your apartment, wherever. Edge and Ethos Designs has been around since 2021. We have designed over 200 senior living communities, over 30 multifamily developments, and 4 hotels. So we are moving and shaking. We are growing, we are expanding, hallelujah, and we are scaling our business, and we are doing great things with residential design. The way you can contact us and the way you can reach us and connect with us is through our website, edgeandethosdesigns.com, or on LinkedIn, Edge and Ethos Designs, as well as Instagram, Edge_and_Ethos_Designs.
Thank you so much for that. And now when y'all start seeing Edge and Ethos all over the places, they expanded and growing, it's only going to be one podcast that says they had them on here first.
Okay. That's right.
Oh, I'm just saying. It's fair game after this, but it's only one first, right? And I'm just so honored that that's me, okay, here on the HBCU Her Voice podcast. Now, this is the part in our show, Kristen, where we cue our guests for final thoughts. I want you to give us some great final thoughts from the parts and places that we shared today, and really something that captures the essence of Kristen Proctor. Over to you for final thoughts. I'll be back to close the show.
I just want to say thank you to you for giving me this opportunity and for giving Edge and Ethos Designs this opportunity. My final thoughts are Don't be afraid of your power. Don't shrink. Understand your strength. Understand your resiliency. You can do so much more than you think, but just keep going one step, one foot after the other, because you aren't alone. God has you. He is with you. He is for you.
Amen. I will take that. And like I tell you guys, miraculous things happen when you let your voice shine. I don't just say that it's just something to say as a catchphrase. I literally embody that every day. And I want you guys to know about the warriors that live in you. This platform only exists because you guys come, you guys watch. I mean, what I'm be doing sitting up here looking crazy if y'all don't come? I mean, this, we got to do this together. That's all I'm saying. You guys make this place a place that I literally enjoy coming. It does not feel like work. I could literally do it all day because I know that it means that much to me, and I love the place and place that it gives my guests. Let me just say this, like the folk in church say, I love you. Ain't nothing you can do about that, but you can come back next time for another amazing woman here on the HBCU Her Voice podcast. Until then, I love you, and we're out.